Hi, what's up, guys? Welcome back to the Legal Talk with Madam Attorney. I am back with another video. Boo, 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 boo. Oh, okay. Before I get started with today's topic, I just want to say thank you so much to everybody that has been subscribing to the channel, to everybody that watches, to everybody that comments, to everybody that subscribes. Guys, thank you so much. We are still trying to grow this channel, so we do need a whole lot more subscribers. So please tell a friend, tell an aunt, tell somebody down the street that there's an attorney that discusses legal topics and kind of gives you an idea of how certain matters go in court and what it means to have certain matters or what it takes to have certain matters settled. So that's not where I'm at today. I am literally going to be talking about my journey through becoming an attorney or my journey at school. And I'm sharing this story so that hopefully somebody out there who feels like, "Ugh, I'm taking forever to finish. It's never gonna happen. Oh, this is not for me. Why am I struggling so much?" And I hope you can take courage. You can take something from this video and be motivated and understand that what. When you focus on something, it's all that it takes. You focus, it will definitely surely come to pass. You do not need to look at how your peers are moving or how fast they're moving. In their respective fields, you have to concentrate on what it is that you want and concentrate on how you are going to get to your own destination. Life is a journey, guys, and our journeys are different, and your walk is won't necessarily be the same as my walk. Okay, so let's talk about me in grade 12, right? This is my journey to becoming an attorney. So in grade 12, I changed schools due to like personal family reasons. And so I started a new school in grade 12, and that was hard. So I literally had 6 months with those teachers, and I wasn't sure if I was gonna make it. But I'd always known that I wanted to be an attorney, or I said an attorney or a doctor, but like I think in grade 10, 11, I kind of realized that I would never cut it as a doctor because I am so afraid of people that are sick, right? That was just me. Like I was scared of people that got sick, and my mom asked me this question: how would I deal with patients, because I have to be the strong one. So now when I see a sick person, I'm the one that cries. So it's just like, this is never gonna happen. I can't be crying when I need to act and help a person. So I scratched that idea quite quickly, and I remembered that my second option was always that I would become an attorney. And that I think was inspired by my uncle. My uncle was a prosecutor, and back in the day, we thought prosecutors and whoever were attorneys. But I think he really just inspired the whole idea of being an attorney. So when I got to grade 12, I knew that, okay, fine, I'm not going to be able to do medicine or whatever. Then I'll definitely do law. So I had not applied to any university. I was just like, whatever. I was going through life and shit. I had not applied. I was not sure what's going to happen to me. So results came in December, and I had passed. So it was like, okay, cool. Now I passed. Then what? I was supposed to have gone to the University of Forte. That's where I thought I would go, but like it was so far. I was so young. I think I was 16 years old when I finished matric. So I felt like I was still very young to go far. So I was like, okay, fine. I enrolled at Unisa. Uh, Back then, Unisa had like yearly modules. They had like year modules. So it meant that if you register for 5 modules, then you're going to do just those 5 modules the whole year. And most LLB modules were 5-year modules. So in my first year at Unisa, I enrolled for 5 modules. I did not know that I had to take 12. So in my first year, I actually did 5 modules, which is like half a year. First delay in life, and I only discovered or found out through the first year that actually I was supposed to have taken 12 modules to make it 1 year. So in my second year at Unisa, guys, back then it was so hard to study at Unisa. I think it still is. I wasn't the most disciplined person. it was not easy. So in the second year, I now was trying to make up for the fact that I'd done half a year. I'd done half a year and a whole year. So I took more modules and then I gave myself the year to finish. I think I passed four modules in the first year and I had one that I need to redo. I had to redo. Then in the second year, I took a whole lot more modules. Um, and I think I passed about eight or so. This was so far back, I can't even remember, right? Uh, but it was hard. So I literally did a year in 2 years, right? That delayed me. I was frustrated with Unisa. At one point, I had to take classes with Boston College, and they were so expensive. I was paying Unisa and I was paying for Boston. Boston really did help me pass or improve the marks that I was getting from Unisa, because remember at Unisa you do not have full-time lecturers and you kind of have to navigate everything on your own. So it was a bit hard. It was like really, really bit difficult. So eventually I finished matric in 2005, and I'll tell you this, I only graduated in 2015, right? So I 2005, 2006 I did first year, but like I did five modules. 2007 I tried to cover up. I did about um I registered for about 10, and then I think I passed about 8 because I was at Boston, and so Boston was teaching, was giving me the lectures, and I was writing at Unisa. Then in 2009 I fell in love and got distracted. So I registered for four modules in the first semester. I think it had changed now. They had like semester modules. So I took about five. I failed that semester because love had messed me up. And I quit school. I was just like, nah, I'm not doing this. So I quit school. I went to get a job. I worked 2009, 2010. I was working and I was not really at school. So I had done UNISA 2006, 2007, 2008, right? And in those 3 years, I just finished two 20 modules, right? Which means I still had another 20 modules to go through because you need 40 modules to finish. So 2009, when I failed the first semester, I was just like, you know what, I'm gonna go get a job. I'm old and. So I got a job, and when my mom asked me, what's happening with your studies? I was just like, don't worry, I got a job. I'm gonna be able to study and work at the same time. Plus, I'm a Tunisia. That is exactly the point of being a Tunisia, so you can study and work. I honestly thought it would work out, but it didn't, because guys, when you work, it's difficult. In fact, I think it needs a certain level of maturity in order for you to juggle work and study. So I was still quite very young. Like I was still very young when I finished. I finished matric at 16. So 17, 18, 19, I was still like, I'm still young, you know. I'm still young, and that's where I got my delay in life. A lot of things got delayed around that period. So 2009, I was just like, get a job. I got a job. I worked 2009. I worked 2010. 2011, I fell pregnant, and life just went south, you know. Fell pregnant. I was working. I changed jobs, and then actually I changed jobs, and then I think 6 months into the job, I got retrenched. I'm pregnant. I'm retrenched. I've not finished my LLB degree, so life just felt like a huge mess. I was just like, yo. How on earth am I going to get myself out of this? How am I going to get me out of this situation that I've literally put myself in? So 2011, fell pregnant, stayed at home, gave birth to my daughter. 2012, tried going back to work, tried getting piece jobs here and there. That didn't help, and so my mom was just like, you know what, come back home. I've given you your chance to try, and get your life together. But I can see that you are making a whole lot of mess out of it. So you're coming back home, and you're gonna go look for a school, and you're gonna go back to school full time. You're gonna study. You're gonna finish, and you're going to become the attorney that you set out to be. So 2011 gave birth, end of the year. 2012 raised my daughter for the first year. And then the second year, which is 2013, I had to now go back to school to finish my LLB degree. Now I couldn't go back to Unisa because it had been such a struggle for me, and getting classes from other institutions was very expensive, and we could not afford to do that anymore. I had a child, I couldn't. So there was just a lot going on, and I had to go to now a full time university. I honestly recommend going to a full time university because one, ne, you are there to study, and that is all you do. So you are just concentrated on studying and nothing else, and so it works better. I went to the University of Zululand 2013. I think it was around Feb. I met with the dean in that university, Dr. Ndawa, that guy. Yo, he played such a huge role in who I am today. He looked at my marks that I had gotten from Unisa and he said to me, "Why didn't you come sooner? Why didn't you come here sooner? This is just such great talent wasted, you know?" And he was like, "No, I can't." He could not allow me, you know, to fail. He could not let another young black talent go to waste. And he saw that I had a lot of potential. So he pulled some strings and made sure that I started with the university in the second semester. And mind you, that was not something that was done. You only could come back a second semester if you had been with the university previously, not if you are a new student in the university altogether. But when he saw that the potential that I had, it was just like, no, you're gonna come, you're gonna start second semester. So went back home. They did the first semester. I stayed at home. I was so stressed out. I was just like, oh, why is life like this? Why am I going through this? But I think God was working something in me, and He was building resilience and patience and understanding that life is a journey, and sometimes our journeys are not going to be the same as other people's journeys. And I'm so grateful for that period in my life because it taught me a lot of things. You know, I am a much stronger person now because of the experiences that I've had leading up to where I am. I always say that I'm a product of second chance because I was given the second chance to make something out of my life. And I promise you, I grabbed it with both opportunities. So when I got to the University of Zululand in 2013, second semester, I registered for like 7 modules in that semester. I did 7 modules, I passed them. The next year was 2014. I was left with 2 years. So when I got there, I was left with 2 years to do the LLB degree. But because I had a baby and I had a man, then I felt like, you know, I didn't want to stay there for too long. I knew that I was there to correct my mistakes, get out with my LLB degree, and go make something of my life because my child was a year old. I knew that she's going to grow and she is going to need me to be financially independent. And when she was still a year old, she didn't really notice that I wasn't around. But the older she got, she was going to get more financially demanding because the expenses would go up and she would notice if I'm not around. So I knew that I had a year to sort my life out. So I went back to school. All I did at the varsity was just study and study. I was in between classes. I couldn't attend certain classes because they were clashing. My modules were all over the place. So I made friends with people in the first year, second year, third year because when I was at Unisa, you could just pick any module. They were not really structured that in the first year you take this one, second year you take these ones, third year. So I'd done modules which were in the third year instead of like doing modules which were in the first year. So I still had modules that I had to do, which were in the first year, and I had classes in third year. So I went to the University of Zululand to complete my degree. I did third year and fourth year. In the second year, which was 2014, um, I enrolled most of my modules. Don't ask me how. I enrolled most of my modules. I think I did about 11 modules in the first semester, which I was not supposed to have done, but I did it. I did those 11 modules, which means I completed a year in 6 months. Um, Passed all of the 11 modules, and I did about 8 in the second semester, 8 or 7 in the second semester. I completed all those modules and I passed, which meant that I would graduate in 2015. So 2014, I was done with all the LLB degree modules that I had to do in order for me to graduate. It was such a relief. It was such a relief because it had taken me so long to complete my LLB degree. There had been so many obstacles on the way, there had been so many challenges. There was a period where I just simply dropped out and was not doing anything about it. And honestly, it was the time when I'd honestly given up on the idea of ever becoming an attorney. Fast forward 5 years later, after obtaining my degree, when I went back, right, I already knew that, you know what, I am here to correct my mistakes. I am here to make sure that I don't make the same mistakes I made as a younger person. So I got my degree. I finished 2 years of modules in like a year and 6 months. I got out already, and I had articles. So I started serving my articles with this firm that also had its own struggles. I think that's a story for another day, like my article period and how difficult that was for me. Instead of serving 2 years of articles, I served 3 years of articles. And after serving 3 years of articles, I knew that, at the minute I become admitted, I am going to start my own law firm. So fast forward to now, I have been running my own practice for the last 4 years now. I started my practice in 2018, 2019, 2020, and now it's 2021. And I am still going strong. I am a better person than I was when I left high school, and I have had to really focus and work hard and just be determined about what it is that I want to see in my life. So the reason I'm doing this video is sort of to encourage somebody that is out there that is struggling at university, that feels like giving up, that thinks, oh, I've been failing so many modules, this is not going to happen for me. I want to say to you that you can still do it. You just need to focus. You need to set your priorities straight. You need to focus. Our journeys are not the same. Our backgrounds are not the same. The decisions and the lessons that God has in store for us will never be the same. So stop beating yourself up about the fact that finishing a degree has not been easy. Concentrate, focus, right? It will happen. It happened for me, and I'm glad that it did, because now I'm a more focused person. I am running my own practice now, and if I had given into the thought that said I was not enough, I was not good enough, I was failing, I was not doing well, I would have never gotten to where I am. So sometimes all it needs is for you to just really, really, really focus and just be intentional about what it is that you want to achieve. Write it down, pray about it, speak it into existence, visualize it, you know. Have that clear vision of what it is that you want to do, and God is faithful to make it happen. That is my journey through Unisa and becoming or graduating my LLB degree. I'll still give you guys the horror story of becoming an attorney becoming an attorney and serving my articles. Believe me, it was not the easiest period of my life, but I thought I'll just share my journey to graduating my LLB degree, and I hope honestly it does motivate someone else out there, and it makes you see that honestly it doesn't matter how you've been doing it. If it's not been working, you can change your mindset, change your attitude, change what you've been doing so that you can yield different results. Thank you so much for watching this video. I will do more videos on how I became an attorney, how I became a candidate attorney, and how I became a director. The difficulties of all these stages, something that I want to document, so that when someone else starts and they're trying to see, Guti, how has it been, they can realize that, you know what, it's never really an easy journey. No business is easy, especially if you're from a previously disadvantaged background. It's not easy. But yeah, man, that was it for today. I will see you guys in another video. Thank you so much.